Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Talk Nerdy to Me. And this one, it's going to be a video of thoughts on restricting cards because that just came into effect with the ban list and the restricted list. So, first off, I think that's a really genius idea because technically, if you did it where you rated a card or you did rotation, you just basically get rid of some really nice cards that shouldn't be gotten rid of. I don't believe that you should get rid of a card just because it seems a little overpowered or whatnot, because in the future, you'll actually create other cards that can compete with those cards. Yes, it may take time to get to them, but whatever. The game just started, just began, so we shouldn't be wiping out cards right off the bat. I think restricting Corsica was a really genius idea because you put four of them in there and you're trumping people pretty easily because first one you get your tall geese, you play another one, you get your two Leos, there's three on the board. Oh, 1/1 people don't really, but if you already have someone drained from their base and their shields are very little, those 1/1s still ping the shield and destroy it. And then you throw a third one down, there's another two Leos, and it just goes so on, so on. So yeah, restricting just to two so you can only do the tall geese and then the two Leos, that makes it so you can only have those 3 units technically. Um, that's my overall first thought on the restrictions, which, like I said, is a good thing. If you're liking my videos, don't forget to leave a comment. I want to interact with people. I want to build the community and actually be able to bounce ideas, make it a think tank, just drop a comment. Tell me how it feels. The next one I want to get into, this might be a hot take, but again, my hot take, my channel, sorry, is restricting Gundam. So the ST01 where you get +1 to all your units. You think about that. You play the game properly. If you see me looking down, I have notes on my thoughts because ADHD makes things go that way. So you have 4. That thing gives +1 to all units across the board. Now, if you're running blue-white blockers, you lay a Gramps with Amuro. You get the +1 on him, so he becomes 4/4. Then next turn, you play another Gramps and then another Amuro. This is a theoretical. Practicals, it will react differently, but theoreticals lead into practicals because sometimes the casino plays in your favor and you can actually achieve this. So then it'd be 4/4 and 4/4, but then the two of them combined give 5/4, 5/4. Then you have a third link in your hand, which is possible, and then it's a 6/4, 6/4, plus the freaking, let's see, what is Amro, what's Amro give? And then Amro gives +2. So you're 8/4 on 3 cards. That's savage. It's like that's pretty broken. And then you have your blockers that are able to inhibit someone from technically taking one of your Gramps outs if played properly. Again, theoretics. Practicals, you might have 2 on the board, but still you're running freaking the 5 and then 7. So you're still sitting at 7 with 2 of them. It's still a dangerous card. So my opinion, 2 in a deck of those Gramps. Just the Gramps. So you can keep the Amros at 4 because you have the NT1 that Amro is functional with, and then you have the GDO1 001 Gramps. That is the which effect? Anyways, you have him with that capability of Amro. So Amro is not the card that's technically should be restricted or broken because he's functional with multiple Grampses and not just Grampses. It's during pair, right? Or when paired. So you can pair him to any other blue unit, any other unit that you're running, the white units, red units, whatever your combination is, whether it's blue, red, blue, white, you get what I'm saying. But his effect is when it's paired, he rests something 5 or lower. Like, honestly, 5 or lower, you're not really, I don't know, in my opinion, something maybe 5 HP, but what, like, what do you really, I guess 5 HP is pretty potent on some of them. So you're resting, guess you're resting quite a few units. But again, you just, like, your hit points left over, so you can reduce anything to technically 5 HP, but you have to do a couple combos before you get it down to 5 HP. Again, I digress. It's Amro's not so much a problem because he can be spread across the board on multiple different units, and I think he's functional. 2-1. Like, we just got Shin, who's a +3. Like, you're giving a unit, Zaft unit, purple unit, anything, coordinator, +3. So, like, you're cranking some of them to like 8 AP. That's a pretty strong card. So if you think Amuro's broken, then I don't know. I'm thinking adding 3 AP to something could be considered broken too, depending on your play method and how you do things. So that's my overall thoughts on that. Some people have said to me that Ale Strike should be restricted as well. I personally don't see how Ale Strike should be restricted because he doesn't really, like, what does he do? Don't mind me, I'm not well versed in every single card, but I'm pretty sure all he does is bounce. Let's see. Yeah, so you have to have a level 5, no, sorry, 4 or higher pilot, and he bounces something with 4 or less HP. So again, it's the HP factor. Amro has the HP factor. Ale has the HP factor, but let's be honest, like, he's only bouncing a unit with 4 HP. You can have a unit that's 5 and he's not going to make an effect. And all Shin does, or sorry, not Shin, all Kira does is does the -2. So that doesn't even have an effect towards the combo of Ale Strike. Yeah, he's a blocker. Don't get me wrong. So, like, you can block something that's higher, or you can return something that's lower. So, but I digress again. I don't think personally that Ale Strike should be on the restricted list or the ban list because he's not as troublesome as Gramps and Amuro and some other cards that could be considered. But what are your thoughts? Do you guys think that Ale Strike should be on the restricted list as well? Now, this is me. This is my bane of existence. This next one we're getting into. If you clicked on the video, you'll have seen the character in which I'm talking about, the unit in which I'm talking about. The Zaft, which people were cranking on, that, ooh, Zaft's not that good. Well, guess what? Zaft just got massive upgrades between ST09 and GD04 and this guy. My problem card that I've come across in practicals and theoreticals is Providence. That card, what is the, like, come on. 12? What are you coming across that has 12 HP? Most of the time, you've reduced half the units to like below 4. Maybe they're sitting at 5, but there's not too many that are like above 10. Like, come on. You get Providence himself. Then you add Crusade, and he gives them that buffer. And when he's paired, he gets his buffer of 2. And then you get Jachin base in there, and he's 12. Like, what unit are you attacking that is 12. Like, let's be real here. Now that's the practical. That has happened to me, and I don't understand why the guy had to bump it up that much to like ping me for 3 and run through a base for 12 or run through like I I just don't understand. But then you get into the theoretical. Now, theoretically, if everything played well and you were running red white, so your blockers and your attackers, like you could be using the close combats, you could use battle of aces, you could use improved techniques for your red side, right? And then you got white side. Now, if you have blockers out to impede people from playing against your providence, let's just do a theoretical. You have providence, you play Crusette, and you have a blocker. Okay? So and then you have Jachin. So even if you don't do it that way, you could have Providence out, and then you can have Jachin. Jachin goes to the graveyard, theoretically, or it gets blocked from one of the blockers. So he stays out. And then you lay a Buster Gundam. You have another blocker next turn. You know, the guy attacks again trying to take out Jachin. You use your other blocker. The blocker takes it. Your turn, you play another Buster. Okay? You have another blocker out there. This is all theoretical, but it can turn into practical. If the casino plays and rolls in your favor, it can happen. So let's just say that you have max amount of busters out. Those dudes give +3. Okay? +3 on that many, plus the Jachin, plus La Crusette, and the pairing ability for the Providence. You're rolling with 24 AP. 24. I thought 12 was bad. And then I did the theoretical in my head, and well, you know what happens when you get in your own head. But 24 AP. You roll out on someone just to ping another unit for 6, and then you slam with 24? That's wild to think of, that you can pump Providence up that high. I've had it hit me at 15. I've had it hit me at 12. Those are the practicals of this. The theoretical, I just said, up to 24. That's insane. We don't even have bases that can take 12. We don't even have units that can take 12. Like, I think I've seen Wing at 8. Maybe you might give him to 9 on your HP. But at the same time, he's probably been reduced. Yeah, so for this video, those are my thoughts on restricting the cards and how you can play things out. But like I said, if you have anything to say, excuse me 1 second. I have a creature. If you have these things, you understand. They're trying to get into everything. But anyways, I digress. Sorry. I was saying that those are my thoughts on the restriction cards right now, because like I haven't really come across any other cards that are like as baneful as those 3, maybe 4. If you guys have anything that you think should be on the restricted list, yeah, just drop a comment. Let me know. Then we can create a conversation. One more sec. Yeah, so like I said, drop a comment. Let's create a conversation on exactly what you guys think should be restricted. You can chime in on what you think about my Providence, whether he should be restricted, or if something should happen to his wording or that, the verbiage in his cards. Because again, to me, that's just, you think Amro and them are dangerous. To me, Providence is a pretty big pain, and the combinations you can do with it. Yeah. So, and that's every turn. Remember that Providence does this every time it attacks. You could be wiping the board pretty quickly. But, like I said, those are my thoughts. If you guys have anything else to say, just leave a comment. And then if you want to watch any of the other videos, you can click the bio and you can bring up the videos, or maybe at the end of the channel or end of this video, I'll leave a link to a couple of them. But I'm glad you guys are joining me for this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Again, this is Talk Nerdy to Me. Let's get into nerd shit.
Peace.